Hello, my name is Joe, and welcome to another edition of Joe's Super Fantabulous PC Gaming Channel, where I'm having fun here in the World of Warcraft Legion Remix event. Now, as you can see by the little timer that was there on the screen a moment ago, this event's only on for so many days. And, well, for those of you watching on streaming services, video sharing services, I should say, YouTube, X, Rumble, you'll be seeing a lot of these videos lately, at least focused on WoW Legion Remix, because it is a limited time event. So I'm trying to get in all the fun that I can while the event is available. So let's see, where was my cow? I've slept a few days since the last time I recorded one of these things. I have to remember where I was. I think she was stomping around. Yeah, I think she was stomping around Azuna. Okay. Oh, but it looks like I have a turn-in the Infinite Bazaar. So let me go hit there first. That's probably why she checked out here at the city. Yep, I see a turn-in. Now this character is my express character, so I'm not reading the quests. I'm just kind of letting Zygor handle that. If this is the first video you've ever seen, Zygor is like a little paid add-on that's like a little helper. It knows the quests for all the different places we're going. Turns them in. Hey, you're about to enter the heroic world tier. Oh, no, not now. I'm still leveling this character. Well, of course, wait a minute. Why is it offering it to me at this point? Significantly increases the difficulty of outdoor activities. Does that give me more experience? Now, I just want to level her up before we do something like that. I'm a tourist. I'm here for transmogs and for other stuff. Now, there are some people who come in and they're like, oh boy, the old raids, and, go through, and boy, isn't it so much fun to, wipe 50 times and have people screaming about loot before it ever drops. And I'm like, I'm not really about that. I'm here to collect pets and
Hello.
mounts and,
Good luck.
achievements. Oh, good stuff. In a way, that's kind of nice. I mean, WoW has a little bit of something for everyone, for those who still enjoy the World of Warcraft. They used to run these ads, and I always thought it was not very beneficial to World of Warcraft. I was like, who the heck is on the advertising team? Where, they would advertise over 95 million players have tried World of Warcraft. We currently have 5, 6 million active players. And I'm like, whoa. So your ad is telling people that 94 million people quit your game? I was like, what kind of ad is that? Now, Blizzard stopped talking numbers years ago. After it was kind of embarrassing. Each expansion, the trend went down. I mean, World of Warcraft was growing exponentially all the way up. I think where it fell off was I'd say Wrath of Lich King, if I remember correctly. It grew and grew and grew, because we had Vanilla, fantastic. Burning Crusade, that was great. Wrath of the Lich King, chef's kiss. And then, somebody came up with the idea for Cataclysm, and it's like, what the hell? And after that, it just seemed to go down, and it never went up again. And as it went down, and they'd get a bump every time a new expansion would come out, people would come to see what the new content was like, but they'd blast through it and then be gone. In a way, that's probably a good thing for the remixes, because the remixes mirror about the amount of time that people would spend with a new expansion. So, you know, the tourists can come in here and have a good time, and these characters aren't going to be anything that you're working to level up for any long-term commitments. It's just a little fun here and there. Oh, got more of these to do, huh? Guess I'll have to keep an eye out for them. Oh, so that's what these were all this time. I would see these floating around and wonder what they were. They were time loss that were despawned, and so you know what the spawn points are. Okay. I remember initially I was a little frustrated with this weird quest, wondering what the heck am I supposed to be doing, and you're just basically running over pedestrians here in the sky. I don't know what else to call it. There is no escape. I was about to make an inappropriate joke about receiving a driver's license in California for someone who's unqualified, but I'll let the joke write itself. Well, Florida is the same way. There are people on the road. Last time I was in Florida, I remember I was next to this, I think it was a Lincoln Imperial, and I'm looking over at the car next to me, and all I see is this blue, I guess it's a wig, and that's it. That's all I could see behind the wheel was a little blue wig. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm gonna just kind of like hang back here and let that car pull away. I don't want to be in the lane next to that. I wasn't sure if that driver could, you know, see very well. A little field of vision issue. I mean, because you see this giant steering wheel and this blue wig behind it, and it's like, all right, demon. Okay, 4 to go. Oh, he counted for double, huh? What, do you have a rider? I'll have to watch the playback. Oh, and there's a couple. Now I'm curious, is that something that resets over and over again? Let's find out. No, apparently not. I wonder if that's like a daily. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that indicates a boss. Or, oh, in this case, a rare. Give me loot! loot. Dude! Didn't seem like he had anything. Oh well. Oh, I have something unopened, huh? Sandbox Storm Griffin? Oh. Where is this from? I don't know. This is probably some reward for resubbing for a period of time, I would guess. Other than that, I don't know where it came from. Oh, Silver Tide Stallion. Plunderstorm. Oh. I guess I hadn't unboxed everything from Plunderstorm yet. This is probably a aquatic only mount. I guess you could have a lot of fun with this thing. Soar! Okay, that's enough with that toy. Now I'm curious to see the Tide Stallion. We'll have to get to some water for that, I assume. That's why it's grayed out. So plunge into the water, and the Tide Stallion lights up. Well, now that looks like a proper seahorse. Yeah, the Plunderstorm event, if you're not familiar with it, is again another limited time event, and it's basically, I would say, battle royale with pirates. So everybody gets dropped into an arena, Fortnite style, and in a ever shrinking arena, and kills each other, and NPCs, and you basically go in there to grind for tokens to be able to buy, again, transmogs and mounts, which is basically why I'm here for this, and pets. Okay, well, that was interesting. So I have a new aquatic mount. Alright, now that we have that quest taken care of, let's go ahead and take care of this one. Whoops, that's a dismount barrier. Oh. Is this not openable? I guess not. Okay, and I'm supposed to be infiltrating the shipwreck arena to find Azuna Longtusk. So it's up here and around the corner, I guess. I don't remember the story why. It's been a couple of years since I played the Legion expansion. Although I had a lot of fun with Legion. That's why I was really happy to see when this ReMix came out. Legion was so much fun.
Let us visit. Oh, you have my attention.
In fact, I was thinking to myself, what was it that I enjoyed about Legion so much? Well, back then, my guild was still mostly together. We had lots of friends to play with, so that made it a lot more fun. And I think this was the first expansion where I really did things like world quests, well, the world legendaries or whatever they call them, where, there are various different daily quests that you had to do as a group out in the world, and we had fun grouping up and doing them as a guild. And so a bunch of friends get together and go out and smash stuff. Things are always more fun with friends. And the problem is that people move on. You know, we all have responsibilities and other stuff. I used to have lots of friends that I would get together with in person. Oh, in the good old days, we would actually have LAN parties. This is before the internet. And well, even after the internet was a thing, for a long time, bandwidth was a problem. So, in the days of modems, for those of you too young to know what those are, modem is an acronym for modulator demodulator, and they use the phone lines. They would speak in analog tones, and the computers would interpret that as data. So, if you've ever heard those weird things, where it's actually the movie War Games would be a good example. There's a lot of modems featured in that movie, and the interesting tones that you hear the computers speak on the phone, that's what we dealt with. Although that movie showed like the really old modems where you took a handset and you had like the cups and you had to put it on there. At least the modems that I was using were actually plugged directly into an RJ11 cable, so they plug straight into the wall. I didn't have to actually hold the receiver up to the modem for it to talk on it. Although one of the big problems was call waiting. So back then, if you only had one phone line, and if someone was trying to call you, they had a feature called call waiting, where it would beep on the line, beep beep, to let you know that someone else was trying to call you while you're on the phone. Well, that would cause your connection to drop, when you're sitting there on the modem. And so that was the thing that was the most frustrating. Is I remember having to learn, there was like a certain sequence of numbers that you had to press in order to temporarily disable call waiting. Otherwise, I'd be in the middle of doing something, and some telemarketer would call and kick me offline. And when we're back in like the 2400 baud days, old people will know what I'm talking about. Baud rate was how quickly data was transferred. It took a long time to download things, and there was no auto resume. So if your download got interrupted, that you were SOL. You had to do it again from scratch, and that was very, very annoying. I mean, just downloading a JPEG or a GIF. Yep, you heard me. I said GIF because G for giraffe. Some people say GIF, but I think they're crazy. Yeah, downloading even small images back then took a very long time.
I will hear you.
The other thing that was bad is, back then, a household would have one phone line, and there might be multiple phones all connected to the same line in the house. And so you'd have to fight with people and say, look, I am on the computer. Don't you dare pick up that handset while I'm doing stuff. Because if they do, again, it would disconnect because there would be other background analog noise that would come on the line when someone would pick up. And the modem would interpret as an error and drop. And so I'd be in the middle of something, and someone would pick up the line. I'm like, get off the phone! I'm using the phone! I'm on my computer! What's wrong with you? So lots of screaming and threats of violence. No actual violence, but... Whoops, I gotta clear my throat here. Boy. That's how you know it's not AI. I've seen a lot of these channels now that some of the AI voices are very convincing, but then they get to a point where they mispronounce a very common word. And it's like, oh, crud, I've been listening to AI all this time. I thought it was a very professional speaker. Now, most AI is very obvious, but there are some that the voices are just so convincing. And they get better all the time. Heck, now, AIs are making, music complete with full orchestras or rock bands or symphonies or whatever you want. And singers of all different types. It's got to be a little concerning for anybody who is in the music industry. Okay, what am I supposed to be doing here? Oh, okay. They're throwing their fighter out. There we go. I'm telling Zygor here, sync up with me. That way it shows me what quest I'm on. And it also shows me the next place to go. Oh, got another opponent. No, I think my first modem was a 300 baud, so... Yeah, for any of the youngins who think, oh, yeah, you're just a young guy like me. I was like, no, my first PC was a TRS-80. If you haven't heard of that, I'm sure you'll be able to find it with your favorite search engine. Or, you know, you can ask Grok. Grok is getting to be better than things like Google these days. Less bias. Oh, speaking of less bias, I saw Grokopedia went online just yesterday at the time of this recording. This probably won't show up on YouTube until probably next week, so it will have been online for at least 5 or 6 days by the time you see this. But let's see. Here's my next destination. It's already proving very interesting. A little bit of trivia. I'm very much a fan of the idea of using the internet in order to spread knowledge. And when the internet first became a thing, I thought, oh, this is great. People overall will get smarter and be able to share in, you know, all the things that I used to have to go to a library and look up in books. But no, unfortunately, the internet's used more for stupidity. I see a lot of things that are spread online that are just blatant lies. Now with AI videos, it's even worse because it's hard to tell if you're looking at it is even real. They're getting very good to the point where it's getting hard to tell. And in a few months, it'll probably be impossible to tell. Although, I have to admit, I do enjoy those silly selfie videos of Bigfoots or stormtroopers. I mean, they're not real, but they're very entertaining. Okay, let's see. What are we doing here? Armed shipwreck captives. Oh, okay. Ah, that chest that I couldn't loot earlier. It's full of arms, isn't it? Okay. So now these are interactable. Oh. Oh no, it's actually full of treasure. The stack of arms that I just picked up, those are the arms. Okay, well, I'm here for treasure too.
Can I help you? You need something?
Oh, I don't have enough arms for you? Come on, give me weapons. I need to hand out weapons. I have to go full American. Nobody makes better weapons than America. Speaking of weapons in America, if you've never seen it, there's a Nicolas Cage movie that is really good. Lord of War. Now, granted, the movie itself is fictional, but the concept is not. And in a way, you could kind of say that it's basically, well, let's see, how do I put this? A dramatization of an amalgamation of various different things that probably have actually happened. So they basically take things that are actually occurring and fictionalize them. You know, the names have been changed to protect the innocent, but it's the kind of stuff that is actually occurring. Lots of treasure to plunder, but
Yeah? What do you want?
I want to give you guys weapons. I guess I haven't found them yet. Whoops. Now, if you haven't seen Lord of War, and you cringed when I said Nicolas Cage, granted his movies are a little hit or miss. Every once in a while he has a good one, and then he has a whole bunch of turkeys. But Lord of War was a good one. Let's see, other good Nicolas Cage movies. The Rock, Face Off, that was a good one too. Bad Nicolas Cage movies. The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Boy, that was terrible. Well, there's a very long list of bad Nicolas Cage movies. I could be here all night with that one. In fact, one of the funniest things I ever saw, let's see, well, at least in terms of comics, is that it's a little comic panel, and Nicolas Cage is at a restaurant, and the waitress is coming up to him, and she's got a little basket full of, they've got those little bread rolls, and Nicolas Cage says, "No, thank you," and the caption says, "Nicolas Cage finally turns down a roll." This guy hurts. I need to be ready to death strike him in order to recharge a little bit. I'm using this one-button assist that Blizzard provides in order to try it out, but one thing it does not take into account for is things like that, because normally in my own when I create a single button macro, I would build in multiple death strikes in order to keep the Death Knight healed, and I guess that the one button assist doesn't take that into account. It's more focused on DPS. But that's okay, as long as I keep this button handy. I don't know, maybe I should move this over here. That way I'm hitting it constantly.
How you do it?
In order to keep her up. Let's see, what am I supposed to be doing here? Okay, arm 25 shipwreck captives. You can find more outside, yeah. Use the pile of weapons near the captives. I don't see any piles of weapons. I saw one. Oh, here's a hidden treasure. Goblin toy? Yeah, it sure is. Now, is it just me or where? Oh, okay. I'm guessing this is the weapons. Okay. All right. Oh, but that's destroying their weapons. I need to find weapons to actually... So there's a separate pile to arm the prisoners. Okay, and so this probably counts against the total.
Look hard.
Greetings.
Wait a minute, is it something that's in my inventory and I'm supposed to be using it? Okay, well, my bad. I'm sitting here being lazy. It's like, here you go. I got stuff. Yeah, now I've got it. Here. Oh, great. Now we can induce a little chaos. Okay, I was expecting to just click on the prisoners. Oh well. I can show you the best ways to do quests incorrectly. Let's see how much this counts. I haven't been paying attention to this meter. Oh, quite a bit. Good. Then this should get me over the hump.
No food for you, Honage Jatar! Who are you? You're no slave!
Okay, so we want to throw these down at the densest areas. Lots of slaves.
Your bones will sharpen my trident!
Because they seem to aggro everybody in a certain radius. I've played through this quest before, but it's been a few years since I played Legion. Because I think I only played it when it was a current expansion. Oh. Hello? Tell me you've got something decent. The last guy didn't seem to have anything. Yeah, it's better having Death Strike here, because I've got my left hand over the first 5 numbers. Makes her nigh unkillable. She can be constantly healing off of people. Here, stand in that. Well, it's not much of a reward, but at least it's a little something. This NPC will be hard to solo at your level. Apparently not. You know, I've been listening to those warnings. Of course, this is probably based on what the regular information from Legion would be, and it's probably not calibrated for... Yeah, in fact, the loot table is wrong too, as we saw. So I've been looking at these things where it says, warning, this NPC will be hard, and I've been avoiding them, not realizing, oh, wait a minute, this is for the regular Legion content. It hasn't been updated to account for the Legion remix and how things are balanced differently. So I'll just stop listening to that nonsense. Okay, I know you have nothing, but I kill him a second time, he's not going to have zilch for me. Not that he had much in the first place. So I'll leave him be. And let's see, we have a few more shipwreck survivors to arm. Or is that quest complete too? Oh, I see a goodie. Now, as I mentioned, my very first PC was a TRS-80, and my second one was well, I mean, the TRS-80 is pretty famous in its own right, but nothing compares with the fame or infamy, depending on how you want to look at, of my second computer, the Commodore 64. Yeah, I got one of the original Commodore 64s from Kmart, um, back when that was a thing. And it wasn't cheap either. I mean, woo, $1980. Those are pretty expensive. Well, Commodore Computers is back from the dead, thanks to a YouTuber who got together a bunch of people and bought up all the rights and trademarks and copyrights, and has begun manufacturing Commodores again. And I went ahead and I purchased one. I have been waiting for the Commodore to come back, hoping that it would one day. I mean, there are various different knockoffs, and I've used Commodore emulators. I spent a lot of quality time with my C64. A lot of fond memories of good times. Heck, I even have a Commodore emulator that runs on my phone. But I couldn't pass up the chance of having an actual C64 once again. I mean, I'll tell you a tale of woe, and if you ever wonder, it's like, Joe, why do you live alone? Here, I'll tell you why. I once had a long relationship with a lovely lady who I thought maybe I might want to spend my life with, but she would do things without asking me, like throwing things out that were mine. I caught her once trying to sell my Dungeons and Dragons books to some random guy. It's like, well, these are just old books you don't even look at. And I'm like, if you touch my books, you are out of here, like today. Like, pack your bags, you don't get to sleep here anymore. And she got upset about that, you know. I just wanted to help you. Well, one thing that she did get, and I didn't catch it at the time, she got rid of my Commodore 64. And it was complete. I mean, I had the monitor, I had the 1541 disk drive, all the discs that went with it, all the books. So it's not like an accident. You know, I had a few things in my garage, and everything related to that Commodore 64. All the cables, the tape drive, I had everything. All gone. And I didn't realize that she had zapped it until she and I were no longer a thing. So that's been a lament of mine. I basically decided that I don't mind dating beautiful ladies. I don't mind being their boyfriend. They don't get to live with me. Ever. And I will never trust someone to have control of, you know, being able to come in and out of my place or get a hold of my stuff ever again. And, for some people, those kinds of relationships work out. For me, it didn't. I mean, that Commodore 64, and I had been through a lot. I'd had that computer for decades, and it still worked. It was worth some money. And I'm guessing that's what she found out. She probably found someone to sell it to. Figuring, well, he's not using this. He won't miss it.
I supply only the
And it's part of the reason we're not together anymore. Is I was all about earning money. She was all about spending money. You can figure out how that worked out. So, in fact, for any young men out there who are considering long-term relationships, a little piece of advice: when you meet a lovely lady and she asks you about money, the answer is, I don't talk about that. How much do you earn? It's like, doesn't matter. I earn enough to have my place, to be able to get around, to have clothes, and if I want to take you out. But how much money I earn is nobody's business but mine. Because otherwise, once they have a dollar figure in their head, then they're going to start making plans on how they can waste your money. It's like, well, you didn't work to earn it. You don't need to worry about how it's spent. And so that's a pet peeve of mine. You know, if a woman ever tries to lecture me about what I spent money on, that's like a relationship ender. You know, it's like, ooh, you are on the brink here. You better knock this off right now, or you can just hit the road. Yeah, I work too hard to be told what to do by anybody. Now, when I was younger, I was a little bit afraid to tell women that. I've learned the hard way that it's probably a better idea to just be honest from the get-go. It solves a lot of problems later. In fact, fun fact, the person who inspired me to think that way is none other than Linus Torvalds, the creator of the Linux kernel. And the reason is that Linus is a little notorious for, or Linus, I've heard him say in interviews that he doesn't care how people pronounce it. You can go either way. So Linus, however you prefer. You know, people asked him, they said, you know, why are you such a rude person? And he's like, well, I'm not trying to be rude, but I am trying to be real. He mentioned a situation where someone came up to him at some, you know, event he was at and said, oh, I have all these ideas for the kernel. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And basically, you know, was polite and shined them on. Well, that person got the wrong impression. And as a result, they ran off and for a year worked on what they thought would be great additions to the Linux kernel, and then proudly brought them back to him. And he's like, look, this is crap. I'm not putting this in the Linux kernel. And then one of the guy's friends calls him up and it's like, oh my gosh, what did you say to him? Now he's suicidal and depressed, and could you speak to him? And he's like, oh, look, I don't have time for these people's self-induced problems, you know. So Linus came to the point of view that it's better not to shine people on. Tell them exactly what you think and be honest about it. Now, some people will consider the honesty rude, yeah, because they, you know, it's like the song goes, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. And I'm at the point where the sad truth is that, or I should say in this case, just the honest reality, I have fewer days in front of me than I do behind me. I don't have time for the nice, pretty lies anymore. I will always be honest with someone. And I'm not trying to be ugly or mean, but I will be truthful. So I'll tell them, no, this is how it's going to be. Either like it or you can associate with someone else. On the plus side, the people who know me personally know that there's no ambiguity. They never have to worry about that I'm smiling. I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. And in reality, I'm like, oh, you scumbag, I hate you. I don't have any time for that kind of duplicity anymore. Not that I technically ever did, but you know how it is. There are work situations where the boss has like a really stupid idea. This is a few jobs ago, so it's not my current job, thankfully. But, you know, 4 or 5 jobs ago, it's like, hey, we're going to go ahead and do this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm like, oh my God. What is this guy thinking? He's going to ruin the company. Basically, the pointy-haired boss, as you see in the Dilbert comics, where all the ideas are terrible, but you got to just smile and say, yes, sir, you know, or yes, ma'am, I'll go ahead and carry it out. And then later, when the idea fails, they come to me privately and they're like, Joe, how do I fix this? It's like, well, could we maybe try this? Okay, go ahead and do that. And then, you know, publicly, you never disagree with the boss. In private, if they ask, I have to emphasize this, if they ask, because I've met people who have talked themselves out of jobs by you know, you really should do this. I think you're doing this wrong. And it's like, no. I'll wait for them to come to me, you know, because I usually develop a nice track record for success, and in private, they'll be like, how can we fix this? And I'll give them some quote-unquote ideas, and then they get to present them as if they had an epiphany, and I just smile and go along with it. Boss is happy, I get everybody back on track, and we get back to success. Never embarrass the boss. It's not good for your longevity at any particular place. Slay 2 more giblings. Okay. I was wondering what I was doing here because I was so into thinking about old jobs that for a moment I was like, what am I doing here? I have to admit, that is the nice feature of this one-button assist, is that you can kind of play WoW on autopilot. You know, and like I said, for people like me who are here to grind quests and not quests. Well, I am doing the quests, but that's mostly just for achievements. Having fun, you know, getting mounts and pets. This is fine. Let's see. While dark transformation is on cooldown. Oh, okay. That's the impediment. Speaking of which, where is it? It's not the shop. I'm trying to remember where this adventure... here it is, the adventure guide. So, here's my traveler's log. I still have a few things to do in order to get the little Legion Forged Elec. But, almost there. Oh, and looks like we're done with all these guys, so now we have to deal with the Queen. Was she down in a hole? Oh, I guess she is. Well, heck, this is where that aquatic mount comes in handy. Oh, and I get it. Dismounted immediately. Oh well. You know what? Let's put this guy on the bar. I'd say he's earned it. Silver. Silver-Tide Stallion. This way I'll be able to get to it more easily. Before someone else sweeps out of the sky and sees this thing, I want to get it for me. Well, I don't know, this aquatic mount doesn't seem that much faster than swimming, but at least it's a little faster. I see the Queen's not hostile, so... Whoops, now she is. Maybe I could have spared her if I had pulled this guy away. I bet she got hit by some AoE. Either that or he's controlling her. Oh, anyways, going back to Commodore computers, when I saw that they were reviving the company, one of the things that they offered was different tiers of Commodore 64s. I bought the Founders Edition, so I'm eagerly anticipating that come in. So I'll have an unboxing video at some point when my Commodore shows up, and it'll have the gold badge and be amber and translucent, and it has LEDs all over it, and yeah, I can afford to bling out things. And from what I understand, they were indicating that people who bought the Founders Edition C64, that money was used to help purchase the company. So, you were kind of buying on faith that they were going to, because I made the purchase before the acquisition of Commodore was completed. And so they used that money in order to make the acquisition. So I'm very happy to be able to contribute to the revival of Commodore computers. Like I said, my C64 meant a lot to me, and I was extremely angry and still am to know that someone I let in my house got rid of mine. Of course, I'm sure if I were confronted her, she'd probably deny it, but it didn't happen by accident that thing disappeared with all of its accessories. And there were other computers that were out there. I had like an Apple IIgs and some other ones I didn't give a crud about, some old Mac. And only the Commodore and its accessories disappeared, because only the Commodore still had value. I'm sure there's some people who would love the old Macs, but the one that I had didn't work anymore. And it was one of the old Power PCs, so. Yeah, still a little bitter about that. Oh well. Now the only whammy though with Commodore is that unfortunately the Commodores are being made in China. It's like, ah, crud. So here I am. I've bought a Founders Edition. The acquisition of the company went through, so the computer is getting built as we speak there at the factory, and then tariffs happen. I was like, oh crud. So I'm basically sitting here waiting for the other shoe to drop, where Commodore is going to send me an email. It's like, that Commodore 64 you paid us for, we're going to need a little bit more money now for tariffs before it'll be able to clear customs and come to you. Because supposedly they had originally targeted November as the ship date. So let's see, which unfortunately tariffs will be in full swing, and they've gone up, like another 100% because of problems with China. I have no luck. Okay, it looks like I'm supposed to go in here. That's one of the nice things about Zygor. Is it's giving me a little running thing of where I'm going and what I should be doing. Since my time is limited, although Zygor does cost money, because someone else has to do the research and update these things. For me, it's worth it, because my game time is limited, and so I'm trying to have as much fun as I can when I have the time to have it. Bitter Brine, huh? I love these names. Oh, let's see, what did we get here? Complete all the encounters, elusive foes. And here we can swim out one of these hatches. Trying to remember if there was a special name for the little windows that they put the cannons out. Porthole doesn't sound right. I'll have to look it up. Now I'm curious. Okay, talk to Mr. Shackle inside the cave.
What can I do for you?
Again, these names always get me. Since this is a limited time event, without an add-on like this, I think it would be kind of annoying not knowing where I'm going. Wait a minute. Sign contract in blood. Alright, so I guess I have to go back up to the city. And we know from experience that it's probably easier just to take a taxi in order to do that. So here.
Hello. Farewell.
Although, well, I guess I could have just took my recall stone and recalled to, or Hearthstone, whatever it is, Time Runner's Hearthstone, to return to the landing. But I'll take a nice taxi and enjoy the view. I was just thinking to myself, isn't it odd how these fantasy settings are if you ever objectively think about them? You know, Suramar is supposed to have been the city that's been there for 10,000 years, and we were once a great civilization. And you know, I would love to talk to some of the Nightborn. It's like, so what did you guys do for 10,000 years? We chilled out in our city. I was like, what? You didn't like go outside, and, like go explore, go build something, go, you know, develop some new technologies, read a book? We were busy here in the city. It's like, what, was there a lot of things on TV? I mean, watching soaps or what? I mean, I can't imagine anything that would be that occupying. You know, I've walked around the city. It's like, it didn't look like enough entertainment here for 10,000 years. Um, I have to admit, I would watch these movies about vampires and other, you know, supernatural beings that are supposed to be timeless, and thinking, wow, I would have like 50 PhDs and be an expert in all kinds of subjects. I would never stop learning, traveling. Well, that's just me, I guess. That's my thing. There's always a new horizon to explore, new things to see. I guess that's probably why I enjoy MMORPGs. Is that a little trivia about me. I've actually been around the world. I've been to 40 countries and circled the planet. I have not been to Antarctica yet, or Australia, but I've been to every other continent. Okay, here we go. Is it? Nope. And if I could afford to, I'd be traveling and visiting other places. Unfortunately, the world is a little less safe than it used to be.
I'm listening.
Oh, okay, great, great. So, working on the campaign here. So, got 2 more to finish up, and I'll be able to get that achievement. The Moo of Victory. Well, minor victory, since the achievement's still in process, but at least I got another portion of it down. Okay, looking at the time, this is probably a good spot to end this video here. Join me next time here on Joe's Super Fantabulous PC Gaming Channel, where we'll have more fun in the World of Warcraft Legion Remix, and who knows, maybe I'll have fun reminiscing about some other things. I hope you enjoyed the journey and enjoyed me rambling. Because if you don't enjoy the, let's see, one person put it once as, "This is just a stream of consciousness." It's like, yes, yes, that's exactly what this whole channel is. It's just Joe sitting there rambling about whatever comes to mind, playing video games. Sometimes by himself, sometimes with friends, but always trying to have a little bit of fun and sharing it with you. And if you enjoy that, you're always welcome. And if you don't, well, there are lots of other channels on YouTube, on Rumble, on X to watch. But if you had fun here, I was glad to share the time with you. See you next time.